What's up, everybody? This is Ian from the podcast See It Through My Eyes and reaction videos, all that stuff. So we are doing yet another video for February. I believe it's like our third one. And this time it's actually going to be an interview between me and Ricardo. Just to give some little background here, is February is in fact his birthday. He is going to be turning 30 this year. It's kind of hard to imagine, but he's getting older. So
you're 1 year younger than me, you jackass.
It's 1 year less from the 30-yard line.
I want to see you when you're 30.
So I did just feel like I think it'd be just a little appropriate just to kind of gauge him, just about him kind of making this actually pretty major, milestone in his life. Because 30, these people today kind of unfortunately don't even get past 20 and sometimes even younger. And so the very fact that he actually can say that he's been here for basically 30 years, and he's kind of moving further into his adulthood, I think is a little bit more interesting. So first and foremost, well, for one,
I'm alive.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. I'll just jump right into it. So, how do you feel about kind of moving into your 30s?
I hear a lot of people freaking out about, the older that you get, the big 3-0, the big 4-0, and so on. To me, I feel like I live a year every day. That's how much that I go through. So to me, when I'm thinking I'm getting older, I'm not like, oh my God, I haven't done anything with my life. Maybe not academically, it's always been like that. But I've been around the block a couple times, so I'm like, I've lived at least the wild part of my life enough where now I'm kind of, looking more towards settling down, calming a little bit more down, turning my attention more, maybe not academically, but professionally, for sure. So I'm excited and I'm welcoming the big 3-0. So
it's funny because this month, my older brother literally yesterday, he turned 30 this month as well. And when I was engaging it with him, I just asked him, how does he feel about it? And then, of course, he's just I just kind of feel grateful because, I know, like you said, some people, they just take 30 as oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. To be honest, he was even telling me that he was getting pissed off with some of the friends on his end because they wanted him to do A through Z because he's 30. And he's just I'm just not in that space where it's just I'm grateful that I made it to this level, but it's kind of the flip side of that is that you feel this kind of weight that's just, there's still more for me to do. And it's some of them will get on him on the whole just yo, you're not celebrating your birthday right. You really don't care about it, when it's just, his position was, I can celebrate that milestone maybe later or in just a different way, but it doesn't mean I just disregard it. And so I guess my question on your end is just because, you are moving into the latter part of your youth, well, kind of more into adulthood a little bit more. And I always put the number 30 a little bit specifically, not to get too deep on y'all, but that was a very significant year for when people kind of started fulfilling purpose and assignment. And so do you feel at the age that you kind of transition into, do you feel you're kind of moving more in the direction of what essentially is your purpose and what it is that you are really trying to do in life and stuff like that?
It's funny you ask because this is something that I kind of just realized, honestly, maybe a day or two ago, that I kind of have come to the conclusion, due to some mood swings of late, I'm kind of going through a quarter-life crisis, and I'm trying to, I know who I am, I know where I've come from and how much I've changed, and I know my passions, I know my calling. It's just I have to be honest and say that where at least I thought I was going to be and what other people kind of expected for me to be at, I'm not there. You know, not mentally or emotionally, not spiritually, not academically or professionally, I'm not there. And, you know, I've gone through the cycle, the roller coaster of beating myself up because of it. But I've come to the conclusion that I'm like, it has to be the start now then. You know, it's not about, oh my God, I'm 30 years old. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. You know, I've done a lot, you know, and just things haven't worked out all the time. But that doesn't mean that I can't continue or at least find a new route, a new path to get to that destination or a different destination. To share a little bit about what's going on with you and me, no, we're not getting married. We started working on a series together. We started writing a series together about things in the visually impaired community. And I've mentioned this before. I'm also working on a couple other series with a couple other group of friends. I'm also trying to start my own channel. So maybe career-wise and professionally, it's not exactly where I wish I could be. But I do see that, you know, this new passion inside of me, which is creating, along with my passion of motivational speaking, are kind of showing me that these two are my gifts. And, you know, a 9-to-5 job, no offense to, you know, anybody who has one, that's not really where I see myself for the rest of my life. So I want to push myself and take this year especially to work on myself, to prepare myself when that opportunity and that situation and occasion does come, to be prepared to take it. Because I know myself. The situation or the opportunity might present themselves, but sometimes I sabotage myself either by telling myself I'm not ready or convincing myself that I'm not ready or that, you know, this reason or that reason I can't do it. And now I'm like, I might not be fully ready. I'm not. But I know eventually I'm going to get there. I might not be exactly where I haven't achieved those certain goals that I wish I did. I wanted to at the age I am, but I know I'm going to. So that's kind of to answer the question.
See, I like it because even, again, when I was talking to my brother about it for his, he kind of had the same sentiment where he was like just kind of reflecting, like, you know, there was opportunities that I had, and I just, if anything, one of his things that he would work on himself about was just he would, in essence, just kind of unplug early when things just kind of didn't really look like it was working. He would just call it quits on stuff, and so now he's kind of moving in that place where I guess he's realized that even when things that he's invested himself into, just because it doesn't look the way he particularly wants them to look, he's starting to learn more about what it means to like actually endure through that, and then what it is that he's trying to look for very well kind of starts shaping itself because he's willing to actually endure through like those moments where it just doesn't look like it. And so, and I'm just gonna tell you the same thing I kind of told him, where it's just, I hear you. You know, it's just when you was back in high school, I think you had plans and desires and stuff that you wanted, and like where it was that the stuff that you should have by this, time stamp and stuff like that. And life acted on its own accord, as it does for everybody, and some stuff lined up while others didn't, and then other stuff just plain fell through. But like I told Cameron, it's just, I think you went through all that stuff that you went through for, like, all of that in its own way was kind of trying to still mature you and shape you. And of course, in the moment, you did not like it. You did not feel that. I mean, you ain't trying to look for life lessons. You just want results. But the truth is, all of the experience that you had up to this point, be it good and bad, actually, plays a role. Like, I would tell some of the people at the job that I do, one of the things I tell them at the end of a call, just like I tell them to enjoy the rest of their life, because a good life is a healthy balance of both good and bad, and then of course you're learning from both sides of it, and it sounds like you have, and you continue to do so. And so, I'm just gonna say it, I'm proud of you, because again, making 30, especially in our generation, is just, that is a milestone that needs to be celebrated, because some people just don't even get it to make it that far. And you need to be proud of yourself. I know it's still stuff that, you still got to work out and all this and that, but that goes for everybody. It's going to be the same thing for you, Jesus, Omar, and myself. But I think you still, I'm about to say, I feel, and I said it earlier, I don't know if like last year or something like that, but it's like, I do feel like you are moving on the path of like, purpose. And the funny thing is, some people expect that to be like, I have to know what the steps I'm taking, but the truth is, most of the time you're not. You're just in the moment, and you're making choices, both good and bad, and despite the outcomes, the side effects, and consequences, oddly, you're still moving forward, and I can kind of see it in your growth. So I'm proud of you. Thank you guys for just, this little brief interview. It wasn't going to be anything too long. Happy birthday. If you got any comments for, Ricardo, tell him happy birthday or something like that. I'll see you guys later in the next video. Maybe interview one of you two when y'all birthday shows up. Who knows? See you.